Yo, still Bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, peep game, man. We got to talk about this, man. Usyk versus Joshua, man. Every time I make a video on it, I get hit with some new information, man. But I forgot the weigh-ins and everything was yesterday. Or I think today. Were the weigh-ins today? I'm sure they were today. Joshua came in at 240. Usyk came in at 221 or something like that. Sheesh. That completely shifts the dynamic right there, and he's allegedly a little bit heavier than when he went in and fought Chisora. I thought he was about this size when he went and fought Chisora. Uh, um, that's gonna completely change my breakdown of the fight happening, man. I thought Usyk was trying to get up to about 230, and I thought Joshua was going to come down to about 230, 235. So Usyk at the moment is, they said he weighed in at 221. That's gonna make the fight a lot more difficult, because even though he's not acclimated to fighting at that weight, it's still a lot better than him jumping up to 230 pounds. It's a lot better for him for that. He'll be a lot more agile. He'll be quicker on his feet. He'll be faster on his hands. His gas tank, it won't run out as fast. Trying to acclimate, to that size to fight that big of an opponent, from just a skill set and just a star set type of paradigm, man. One thing I will say, he can't afford to do what he did against Derek Chisora. He can't afford to sit there and in the high guard and take shots and willingly take shots, looking to wear down his opponent like he did Derek Chisora. He didn't really start opening up until late, and when he started putting combinations together, man. After Derek Chisora was just depleted. I mean, he was depleted by about the third round, but his endurance is real ridiculous, man. He just doesn't stop. He doesn't stop. You have to hit that. You have to shoot that nigga to get him to stop coming forward, man. So I don't think he should do that with Anthony Joshua, man. It's going to be a 20-pound difference. So I think Usyk, he needs to be shifty. You dig, and work behind that jab, work behind the straight shots, throw the two. I'm tripping because he's a southpaw. Throw the two off of the one. I would say, because Joshua is coming in around his normal size, because he's coming in at around his normal size, the minute he gets lazy on a jab, the minute he gets lazy on a straight, you need to have enough real estate in between the two of you to where you can slip it and counter him off rip. Like, you should, fuck all that waiting until later on to you drained him somewhat. Like, nah, because I don't see that happening with Joshua in this fight, because he knows what he's up against. He knows he's training for somebody. He's training for a mover, so he's most definitely cognizant of, I can't go in here and just punch myself out with this motherfucker, so I'm gonna really have to box smart. So I don't, he came out throwing combinations against Pulev early on, man. I don't see Joshua opening up with combinations until the 4th and the 5th round. You dig? So with Usyk, I think if Joshua was to, measure you with the jab, if he's measuring you with the jab and what they call that, the Olay shit with the jab, where he's just pumping the jab like that, just pumping the jab, just flashing the jab. If he's flashing the jab, not necessarily committing to it, he needs to be countering him. And due to the fact that he's a southpaw, he can have that advantage. You know what I'm saying? He can spin. Joshua's never fought somebody as fleet-footed as Usyk. He can spin him off of that jab. He can spin him off of that left hook. The right hook. He can spin him off of the left hand as well. He can just keep turning him, keep turning him. He can most definitely do that. Usyk isn't going to be just fighting on the back foot, moving backwards. He's going to be moving laterally, side to side. He's going to be real shifty in there. I'm expecting him to be real shifty. And because he's coming in lighter than I was expecting, that's a plus for him. And I think, it'll be easier for him to do that. it'd be a lot easier for him to do that as opposed to walking around at, coming to the fight at 230. I think that was smart on his behalf. So I'm expecting him to do that, and he's going to need to do that, man. The minute Joshua gets lazy with a jab, trying to probe him, punish him for it. You dig? Throw the hook downstairs to the body as you spinning out. The lead right hook to the body as you spinning out. You cannot afford to stand there in the pocket with Anthony Joshua. And because he's coming in at 240, that there's nothing like fighting a 240-pound dude that's already taller than you, that already has longer limbs than you. He's eventually going to start feeling the size of Anthony Joshua, but maybe you can slow that process down. Maybe you can slow that process down, man. 1-2s need to be active. You have the faster hands. I don't think you need to be anywhere near the pocket unless you've invested to the body. Straight left hands to the body. You dig? Straight, not straight, but right hooks to the body as you're spinning off the angle. Right hooks to the body, straight left hands to the body. If you can invest that type of work into the body, all right, maybe you can stand in the pocket and bang a little bit later on down the stretch because you have the faster hands and you'll have the shorter limbs. But for the time being, you need to be tap dancing on the outside, walking him into traps, forcing him to reset as you shift him and turn him from left to right, and punish him off of the angles. Punish him off while he's turning. Punish him while he's turning. That's what it is that you need to be doing, man. As far as Anthony Joshua is concerned, you have the size, you have the height, you have the reach going into this fight, man. I think you need to, work behind the jab to the body, jab to the chest. Just jab. That really needs to be your focus, is the jab, man. And not even not throwing in combination either, man. Because you in the past you've punched yourself out. You smell blood in the water, went in for the kill. You did it with Pulev in your last fight. You punched yourself out a bit in the last, against Pulev. You did. You was just able to recover off of it. The difference is because Usyk is so fleet-footed and he's gonna be lighter on his feet. If he's in trouble, he's getting on that back foot. He's getting on that bicycle. And if he's in trouble, that means you got to work that much harder to find him. And if you've already punched yourself out and you've allowed him an exit route, now you got to go find him and you gassed. So he's going to be walking in the shots if he's smart, which he is smart. So I think you need to really just hone in on the jab, focus on the jab, long right straights to the body, jab to the body. No hooks. I think y'all need to, this needs to be I think it's going to be a chess match. I don't think, this isn't going to be an easy fight for either opponent, man. Both of you, I think, need to work your straight shots because I don't think Joshua is going to be able to close distance enough to utilize his hooks and his uppercuts. So I think early on, work your straight shots, work the jab upstairs, work the jab downstairs. Jab upstairs, straight to the body. Jab downstairs, straight to the, straight up top. Because you're gonna have to work. I mean, every time, and be expecting the angles, be expecting him to turn you. Get his patterns down. When he steps out, if he gets too close to the rope, all right, he's about to spin out. He feels his back within an inch on the ropes, he's spinning out. So be ready to throw that check left hook as he's spinning, to meet him as he's spinning out. That's what, those are my keys to victory right there, man. Don't punch yourself out. And if you get him hurt, don't get so, thirsty for a kill like you did with Andy Ruiz and you got punished for it. You got punished for it. So, now, Grant, I don't think Usyk is nearly the puncher that Andy Ruiz is, but he's a respectable puncher. He's a respectable puncher. And, I mean, shit, getting hit in the temple, that's going to buckle anybody. I don't know, bro. So, I would say don't do that. Still be calculated. If you get him hurt, put pressure on him, but make sure it's calculated pressure. Make sure that it's effective aggression, but it's not overzealous. You dig? So, that's how I feel about it, man. I think, both of them are going to work behind straight shots. Usyk, I think, is going to be focused and fixated on keeping him off balance and shifting him and forcing him to reset and punishing him off of him resetting early on in the fight. And countering. I think he's gonna have to counter. He is going to have to counter. Because he can't afford to sit there and exchange. He's gonna have to pick his shots a lot better than Anthony Joshua, because Joshua is the naturally bigger man. So he's gonna have to sharpshoot Joshua. Otherwise, it's gonna be a long night for Usyk. Even though I already think it's gonna be a long night, but that's neither here nor there. But yeah, the weight completely changes the dynamic of how I saw the fight going. It completely changes the dynamic because they weigh. It's a 20-pound difference between the two of them. And Usyk is doing the smart thing and not putting on 30, an extra 10 pounds of muscle to fill out. I think that's smart. I think that's very smart. So, like I said, work behind the jab, the 1 and the 2. You dig? Keep him guessing. Take that, learn, calculate when to take that deep step in and throw that right lead hook to the body and spin out. That'll slow Joshua down. He's not gonna have, but you run a risk. You run a risk dipping low and stepping in because his money punches that uppercut. His money punch. But the thing is also it's his right uppercut. So if you take a deep step into your right, you're running into his lead left hand. So I think that's a smart thing to do. You take that deep step in, hook downstairs to the body and spin out, and you do that. Mix that attack up. Jab upstairs, straight to the body. Jab upstairs, straight to the body. Jab that. Do the same thing I'm telling Joshua to do. Or suggesting, let me say that. And with Joshua, you work behind the jab judiciously. You're going to be, you establish the distance. You're the bigger man. And he's eventually going to have to engage you because he can't win a fight just on defense. He can't win a fight like that because who he's in front of. You're the star going into this fight. All close rounds are going to go to the champion as is. Nonetheless, if they're not close, and even if you're not touching them, the rounds are going to go to Joshua because he's more active, and Usyk is just moving around the ring trying not to get hurt, looking to survive. They're going to look at that. So, yeah, Usyk countering, working, not even so much working off the back foot, moving side to side. I think you need to be more side to side than anything, because even if you're backing up, or if you're backing up, like they teach you in the, early, don't back straight up, back out of the angle. So if you get back out at that angle, be on to something. But mainly, I think you need to be focused on keeping him on. The best way to stop his forward movement is to make him reset and turn, spinning. If you can force him to spin and you can force him to, reset to try to, stay in front of you, you have a better shot at winning this fight, as opposed to just backing up and looking to set a trap for him. Joshua pumping the jab upstairs, downstairs, throwing the 2 upstairs, downstairs, and meeting him off of the angles. You don't have the foot speed to, pivot and spin out with him. That's not your game. So when you see him spinning out to that, to his right, you catch him with them left hooks. It doesn't even matter if it lands on the glove. As long as it lands, eventually something's going to open up. You jab downstairs, you get him trapped on the ropes, you pummel, you beat him up to the body so you can slow him down. And I think by the time that happens, it would have paid dividends. And I think that's what's going to happen. And you can possibly get him out of there, man. I thought it would end in a knockout because Usyk was coming in a little bit bigger. Now I'm not so sure. I do think Joshua's gonna hurt him though. I do think he's gonna hurt him, and it could possibly be a 12-round decision. It could possibly be a 12-round unanimous decision in favor of Joshua, but he has to invest in that body and use his size to his advantage. When you trap him on the rope, tie him up, lean on him like like Fury did Wilder. Lean on him, put all that 240 pounds on him, lean on him, man. If he gets on the ropes, he gets on the, you find yourself in the clinch, just lean on him and just body him and just bully him and just debo that nigga, just lean on him. And I think you're gonna pull this fight out, man. That's how I feel about it. So yeah, I'm conflicted on the knockout though. I'm conflicted on that. I don't know. I thought it would be a knockout, but I'm not too sure. Nonetheless, I still do think I think Joshua wins this fight clear as day. I think he wins this fight. He's too big, and the skill set on top of the size is just gonna be too insurmountable for Usyk to overcome. So that's how I feel about it, man. Like and subscribe. Let me know what y'all think. Let me know if I'm bugging the fuck out, if I'm on to something, man. Deuces. Peace.